welcome to another episode of Explore Maple Grove. My name is Shari McGuire, and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. Today, I'm here with Josh Heriot, owner of Heriot Creative near Maple Grove. Thanks for joining me today, Josh.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Shari.
My pleasure too. It's great to see you. I know we've known each other for a few years. And so let's start with telling us a little bit about your business.
Oh, you bet. I am a professional graphic designer, and I've been doing this for many, many years. And, you know, with a designer, and I've done it, and I'm sure lots of designers do, is that we take on and design lots of different projects. Like I've done a whole range of different things I've even designed tattoos in the past. So,
Really?
Yes. So because you have a client and you're looking to help them in any way you can with their graphic needs.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, however, I've taken a different approach and zeroed in on what I like to do best and what I think my strong suits are, and that is designing logos. And so I love to build and overhaul logos, something I call logo hauling. A lot of times people ask me and they're like, how do I make my business stand out?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that is to be who you truly are. And so what we do is we have a process to help someone discover that. And we believe when you are who you truly are, you also attract those ideal clients that you want to work with. And so we go this process of, we believe businesses attract, engage, delight. And so we design logos to help people to attract, engage, and delight the people they want to have come to their business.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. And I will tell you, as someone who's recently gone through your process, it is super cool. And, you know, we should show a bunch of logos somewhere along in this video so people can see the amazing work that you do. I mean, when I was looking to rebrand, I was like, okay, because that, you know, my first logo was just me kind of playing around at the beginning. But when I wanted a real serious logo, I'm like, I got to call Josh, because I just knew that you were the one to do it. And I love how you were able to zero in on who I am and who I want the business to represent, because I talk about that in real estate or any business. You need to be who you are, because if you try to be someone else, people are going to see right through it and they are not going to want to do business with you, you know? And so it's great that you've even focused your business on what you love to do best too.
Yes. And it's a case where when you are, you know, creating a character for your business, which people, that becomes a fun part of it. Because we as people, we're very complex, as you kind of talked about. We're very complex. So zeroing in on who our brand is, that's what we really focus on. And design is so subjective too. It's a case where anytime you see a new logo roll out, there's a group of people who really love it and a group of people who don't like it at all. And so it's a subjective thing too. So learning how to design for people is really a fun part of my process. And it was very fun working with you too. And I'm so happy that you're thrilled with the results. As far as the showing logos, I love show and tell. So as many as you want to show.
Okay. We'll definitely get that in here somehow. So what led you to opening your business?
Oh man, I came by this art idea and being creative in a really organic way, if you will. I grew up in the North Woods. I was actually in a cabin with no electricity and no TV.
Oh,
so
really?
my entertainment was reading or else drawing. And my dad is an artist. He's a landscape artist, phenomenal landscape artist. One of his paintings there is behind me of Alice Lake up in the Boundary Waters. And he was a great influence on me, just encouraging me to continue to hone my skills at drawing. And my mom, she's a musician too, so there was that aesthetic as well. So I always knew that it was going to go into something creative. And I had several different, you know, I went to school at Bemidji State University for graphic design, graduated out of there, became an intern for my dad's company. He had a small graphic design business on Lake Vermilion up north, and serving the tourism industry. And what I saw there, Shari, was kind of the seeds of, hey, you can have a business that you can actually like be at home. You can go down to the dock. You can have some freedom. But, you know, at that time I had, as a young intern, I did have a chance, because my dad went to teach college for a while. I had a chance to take over that business. but I just knew I wasn't ready. And so I ended up going into the field, and I worked for the next 13 years for different businesses, a casino, ad agency, did some freelance work, and ended up when I felt I was ready, I went out and started my freelance business in 2008. So,
2008. Okay. Well,
yeah.
very good. That's an interesting story. I never knew that that was where you grew up. So very cool. That's
Yes.
why you probably have such nice North Woodsy kind of logos too.
Yes. I can't not bring nature into the way that I think about design and the way that I think about, I just believe that everything has been created, and there's these great patterns, and there's these great textures and colors and things, and they're all out in nature. And I think that comes through in the design. Now, I am designing for other people. So, we do want to bring in their aesthetic. That's very important. And we do discuss that when we're going through the discovery process. But yeah, nature is in that. That's who I am. So.
Yeah, and you do a good job of not bringing that into everybody's, because my logo is not woodsy at all, and that's okay, because I'm not a woodsy kind of person.
Exactly. You've got to have a logo that you love, because here's the thing: is that you're the one using it, not me.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So, what would your clients say they love most about your business?
I think it really lately has been this discovery process. It's a chance when we're getting together to learn really who they are. And I think they really have fun thinking about the different archetypes and how they're thinking of their business as a separate character. I know I have a lot of fun with that, because, as a Heriot Creative, we're an explorer, innocent creative. And so I'm always filtering the things that I'm working with, either with my clients or marketing materials and stuff, through those lenses. So helping people to figure that part out, I think it's super fun for me, but it's also fun for them, because it's like a self-discovery sort of thing. And then from there, I think also the people really dig the process. We try to make it simple, easy, fun, predictable. And we also bring in some of the interactive things. This last year has been phenomenal with the using technology. I used to have this kind of limiting belief, Shari, that we had to sit across from one another to have a business. And that just is not true anymore. And I think that's a great thing. It's a really great thing. And it's allowed my business to expand, and I'm sure other businesses as well, because you can build that relationship. I can, with the right tools, learn how to design for someone else and give them something that they love, which is what my goal is. So I think the process and also the discovery is what people really like, and that it's easy and fun.
Yeah, it definitely is. So that's great. What are your business goals over the next year?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been thinking about that a lot. Right now, I'm kind of a solo guy, have been since 2008. I do almost all the work myself, not only in the logos, but we also create a couple magazines for Park Rapids area and Otter Tail area. We have other clients who we're doing ads for and branding work and all sorts of things. And I've been pretty much doing that myself for quite some time. But I think I have some things that I could share with the next generation. I would love to bring in some new talent. I'd love to bring in some fledgling designers who are passionate about logos like I am, who want to learn. But also the thing about designing logos is that trends change all the time. So you constantly got to be relevant in the industry, got to continue to be willing to do the work and investigate and stay inspired. And so if I could bring on a few fledgling designers who come under our umbrella and I teach them our system, I think that would be phenomenal. That's my number one goal. And my number two goal, maybe 1A, 1B, is to expand our motion graphics business a bit. So what we do is that once we have the logo designed, we actually have the elements where we could animate that logo and lead to like a 5 or 7 second intro that could be used in video and things like that, as well as a little bit longer version, kind of an alternative to a very expensive video, and get their message out there. And the reason it's really fun to put those together, but probably the most important part of that is that part involves my dad. My dad is the one who came up with that idea. He brought that into our business, and I would just love to work with him more. So yeah, fledgling designers, kind of on the young people, and then working with my dad, who's an older person. So that's kind of my goals for this next year.
Well, that's great. And those animations, those sound really cool. I look forward to seeing some of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. And I know you don't live in Maple Grove, but do you have anything that you love about Maple Grove that you want to share?
Oh, I totally do. I used to come down to Maple Grove area, even when I lived up north, for like business conventions down in like at the community college down there. And it was and that was before the whole area had grown up. And what was interesting to me was just how it did continue to grow and does continue to grow. And so that part really impresses me, as just that growth and possibility mindset of Maple Grove. But more than that is the people. The business owners I've met through BNI and my friends over in that area, they're so positive and think about business and nice, and they accepted me into being a Northerner, you know, accepted me into this community down here in the Twin Cities, which has just been wonderful. And so I really think the people of Maple Grove really make the difference.
Most definitely. And that's what most people say, because the people are special here. For sure. And just a quick little side note for those who don't know what BNI is, because I didn't know that back before I became a business owner. There's this whole world of networking for business owners, and BNI is one of those networking kind of concepts. So yeah, and that's actually how I know Josh, was through a BNI group.
Absolutely. Great organization, great people there too.
For sure. Well, thank you again for joining me today, Josh.
Absolutely. This was fun.
Good. Glad to hear it. And thanks for watching. Once again, I am Shari McGuire, Realtor with Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. Feel free to request to be interviewed and reach out to me for any real estate questions on buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Take care and stay well.